Traumatic brain injury occurs when an external force causes severe brain dysfunction. Traumatic brain injury usually involves a violent blow to the head or to the body as the result of something powerful like a baseball bat or a truck hitting a pedestrian. An object penetrating the skull, such as a bullet from a gun or a shattered piece of wood from a tornado, can also cause traumatic brain injury. Mild traumatic brain injuries cause temporary dysfunction of brain cells. However, more serious traumatic brain injuries can result in bruising, torn tissues, bleeding, and other physical damages to the brain or even death.
Traumatic brain injury, or TBI, has been around for a very long time. Some of the earliest accounts are found within ancient myths. However, TBI did not become a major focus until after the Civil War, when numerous soldiers experienced TBIs due to the war. Since that time, TBI has been an ever-growing area in the medical field, with many unsolved mysteries still even today. Recently, however, many advances have been made, such as safer helmets for sports, perfected surgical operations to counteract the effects of TBI, and more effective safety technologies within automobiles.
TBI can have a wide range of effects on the body, some more severe than others. In a moderate case of the injury, a patient may see symptoms such as headaches, nausea, fatigue or drowsiness, difficulty sleeping, or dizziness or loss of balance. But in a more severe case, loss of consciousness, repeated vomiting or nausea, persistent headaches, seizures, brain hemorrhage, and loss of coordination will most likely result. Along with this wide array of physical problems, mental and cognitive problems can also result from an injury, and these include profound confusion, agitation, slurred speech, coma.
Typically, traumatic brain injuries occur during emergencies, and problems caused by TBI can drastically worsen without swift medical treatment. Quick tests are needed in order to assess the patient. One of the first tests performed by doctors or paramedics does not require any medical equipment. It is called the Glasgow Coma Scale. Using this assessment, the doctors or paramedics can quickly judge the severity of a brain injury based on the patient's abilities to follow directions and perform movements. Further tests, including a CT scan or an MRI, may later be performed at the hospital to more accurately depict what is going on within the skull.
There are a variety of ways to attack the complications seen from an injury of this kind, and they differ with the severity. A mild injury just requires relaxation and restrictions with physical activity for a period of time until the symptoms are no longer present. Medications can be used in the emergency room following an injury to the brain. Diuretics help reduce the fluid pressure inside the brain by reducing fluid in tissues and urine output. Anti-seizure drugs can also be given, as well as coma-inducing drugs if the injury is severe enough to require this type of care.
Emergency surgeries can be performed if it is necessary to remove a blood clot that was putting pressure on the brain and damaging the surrounding tissues. Another common procedure that is performed is to cut a small window into the skull that enables excess cerebral spinal fluid to drain to allow more room for the swollen brain tissue to heal. The focus of doctors is to put a patient in a position where the brain is under the least amount of pressure possible, because this state is most stable and favorable for a regrowth of brain tissues.
Traumatic brain injury integrates well into most all of Big Idea 2. Energy is required for the maintenance of the nervous system, especially when it undergoes an injury. The regrowth of brain tissues requires some form of energy to power their rejuvenation. In order to maintain homeostasis, the brain must be functioning properly because it is the control center of the human body. Feedback mechanisms are used in the injury and recovery process in the form of hormones that are secreted and travel throughout the body to cause changes and allow the body to properly undergo the healing process. Temperature regulation is also a major part of homeostasis in the body, and it fluctuates when the body is undergoing infection or shock from a major injury. Big Idea 3 also has a part that fits well in the traumatic brain injury, and it is the idea that cells communicate by chemical signals, which goes back to the hormones that are present in an injury.
Now some of you may be wondering, why did we pick this topic? Well, Grant and I are both interested in becoming doctors in the coming years, so we wanted to pick a hot topic rooted within the medical field. Also, we're avid sports fans, and since this topic is gaining speed in the world of athletics recently, with concussion prevention, it catered greatly to our interests. Traumatic brain injury truly has no positive effects on people. However, the serious problem associated with the injury sparks the realization for the need of more research and improved prevention techniques. There is no way to stop TBI, but there are ways to prevent it, which is the top priority of many doctors and sports coaches. Overall, a positive impact is being made on society due to the ambition of doctors to research a new level of protection for their patients. The future of science could be improved as scientists and engineers work side by side to improve safety equipment such as helmets, airbags, and crumple zones, which in turn would create a safer planet for everyone. Well, this concludes our video, and on behalf of Grant and I, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed.